So there are different ways to eat food. For example, human beings, we use our hands, right? Either directly we use our hand or we use a spoon, but we use our hand to eat. What do hummingbirds use? They use uh, the long beak, right? The bird itself is so small, right? That's the reason why they have a very long beak, so that it can probe into the flower and then reach to the nectar where the nectar is stored, and then it can suck all the nectar. So that is, the nature has been designed, and nature has been designed in such a way that different animals have different ways to eat. Now, infants of human beings and many other animals feeds on their mother milk by sucking them. Right? This is yet another way. A snake swallows. What does a snake do? It doesn't bite. It swallows the animals they prey upon without chewing them. Right? A snake will always swallow. It will not chew. A frog captures prey with its sticky tongue. Nature has designed frog in such a way that it has a sticky tongue. And, it has a very long tongue which acts as a probe, which again, the moment it sees, the frog doesn't have to go there. It will just like it traps its prey by just kind of, throwing its tongue out quickly and then trapping the prey. Okay. An earthworm uses its muscular pharynx to swallow its food. An earthworm is the most simpler form of, I may say an animal form. It's kind of straight. It doesn't have a complicated or a complex digestive system. It's like one long tube, right? So it has a muscular pharynx. What happens is that the moment, as I said, that's the reason why it needs very simple inorganic food, simple organic food. It will not be able to chew, it will not be able to digest, it will not be able to absorb and assimilate. Okay, all right. So basically the earthworm uses, it has got a highly muscular body, So what it does is that with the help of these muscles, it swallows its food, correct? And then slowly there is a little bit of breakdown that happens of the food once it goes inside. Now, what happens in case of spiders? Spiders weave sticky web in which small insects get stuck. This is a very intelligent way to catch its prey. Correct? It spins a web and then goes away. And then, when it comes back after an hour or two, obviously there would be an insect which has tried to fly and then got caught on the web. So that becomes the spider's prey. Some aquatic animals filter tiny particles floating nearby and feed on them. So these are very smart ways and intelligent ways by which, different animals have different intelligent ways to feed on animals. Okay. What about amoeba? I'm sure all of you are aware of amoeba.
Yes, ma'am. It is one type of kingdom. Yes, it is a unicellular organism.
Yes, it is a unicellular organism, and it is a classic example given whenever we discuss about unicellular organism. It's a classical example that we cite for amoeba, right? Can anybody share how an amoeba feeds on its food?
Ma'am, I think flagellum.
Correct. In case of amoeba, we call it a pseudopodia. Pseudopodia.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. It is also known as false feet.
False feet, exactly. I was the meaning of pseudo. Pseudo means false. True and false. Pseudo means false. And podia means feet. Okay. It means false feet. Actually with the help of pseudopodia or pseudopodium, amoeba does a lot of activities. It not only helps it for movement, just like the way we help with the help of our feet, we do all kinds of movement. Amoeba, does a lot of movement through the pseudopodia. It also eats and engulfs its food with the help of pseudopodia. Using the pseudopodia, the amoeba itself is so small, it's just one cell. It's made out of one cell, unicellular. Just imagine the food that it would eat would be how much smaller than it. Right? So with the help of pseudopodia, it gathers the food and then engulfs the food. Right? So, and it has the most basic form of food intake. Most basic form. because it is unicellular. Okay. In multicellular organism like Hydra, there are numerous tentacles around their mouth. Hydra uses these tentacles to surround its prey and kill them.
What is Hydra?
Hydra is an aquatic animal. You know, it looks like a plant with several tentacles at the top. I wish I could show you the picture, but just do a Google search. Soon after the class is over, you'll be able to understand. It's an aquatic.
Ma'am, it looks similar to a jellyfish, right?
It looks similar to a jellyfish, but its base is a little more longer. And it has a lot of tentacles, you know. A jellyfish से भी ज़्यादा tentacles होता है Hydra में. Uses those tentacles to surround its prey. For example, it gets some prey. It has those long tentacles with which the Hydra will surround the prey, and then it has those stinging cells, and then the prey will die, and then it will push the food inside its body cavity. This is how Hydra eats food or consumes food. Correct? So this was the second concept, different ways of taking food. Ingestion, the process of ingestion. Now we come to the process of digestion, right? Digestion, we have actually studied. I've already explained the process of digestion. Now we have studied digestion in case of multicellular organism, like in case of human beings. A few have shared for cow, right? Now we've also discussed actually about amoeba, right? How unicellular organisms like amoeba, how do they eat the food? This is how they do it, right? So the amoeba contains jelly-like cytoplasm. What is cytoplasm? I'm sure all of you know what is a cytoplasm, right? See, can you see the picture? This is what I meant. This is the pseudopodia. This is the food. It is coming close to the food. The moment the food comes closer, it extends its both the sides, as in the pseudopodia, and it creates a circle, surrounds it, and the
Food vacuole. Food vacuole.
food vacuole.
Food vacuole now.
Yeah, it is the food vacuole.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, I don't know what's cytoplasm.
The cytoplasm is basically a jelly-like substance that is there inside every cell. Every animal cell has a cytoplasm, right?
Okay,
It is basically a jelly-like structure, liquid
okay,
jelly-like
ma'am.
structure. Okay, all right. So do you know lions have sharp-edged molar that are called carnassials for cutting into tough meat? This we know because almost all the flesh-eating animals will have sharp teeth, especially they have canines. But in case of lions, their molars are also sharp-edged. This is EGED, edged, sharp-edged molars, right? Because just imagine, when we have chicken, cooked chicken, it is being cooked for 1 hour, and then we have chicken, we have to chew for so long. But in case of lion, tiger, or other animals, when they have to eat raw flesh, it is so hard, it is so leathery. So they must be having such sharp-edged tooth to tear first of all, and then to chew, and then to swallow it. And their digestive system also should be so strong, to digest that raw meat. If human beings have raw meat, we will never be able to digest. We will have loosies. The next day we will have loose motions. We cannot digest raw meat. Only carnivores like animals will be able to digest raw meat. Correct?